crazy. Oi. It's currently Wednesday, July 11th. I am signing up for my official MMA ID application for the state of New York. So you have to fill this out if you want to compete in Muay Thai in New York. I haven't been matched. I have to fill this out first in order to do that. It's kind of crazy because I've been doing this for over 4 years now. I didn't really go into it thinking that I would ever fight. I always thought that was something for people who were athletic or talented or just had something in them that I clearly did not. My experience has always been very incremental. I just was taking classes and doing pads until one day I felt like I was good enough to do drilling. And then once I did drilling, I waited till I felt comfortable doing sparring. It kind of just slowly evolved over time, and this one day felt like the next step if I wanted to keep challenging myself. But let me fill this out. He can give it to my coach and he can start finding a match for me. All right, we got an update. So I've been waiting to get matched for the smoker I was gonna do on September 30th. And literally when I was in this meeting for work, there was a group chat going on asking if I could do this event instead, which was a week earlier on the 23rd. I'm not kidding. This conversation started at 2:40. And by the time I got off my call at 2:55, I was already entered into this and matched. That escalated quickly. I'm officially gonna be fighting in 5 weeks for the first time. This girl supposed to be like 5'9". I'm 5'4" for reference.
Right.
Hey, the girl's 5'9".
The training you've done is fine. You know, you've sparred with a lot of people that are taller than you. It's probably like really skinny. So she's probably just gonna be like super long. You just have to work with that, right? I mean, I'm taller than you, and I'm not like, it's not that big of a discrepancy. I mean, we'll have time to devise a strategy. You guys just do a bunch of leg kicks and just like chop up their legs. Good luck. This is it. See you in 7 p.m. class. All right.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
I'm not scared of someone taller. I do practice with a lot of guys, so it's not like that's completely foreign to me. I feel like I'm gonna have to adjust my style a lot, and then I was hoping for my first fight, test my skills in all areas, but that's okay. The point of this, try it, see if I like it. Roll with the punches, baby. Pretend I didn't say that. Now that I knew who I'd be fighting, it was time to start training like a fighter. That meant getting in as many sparring rounds as possible and finding something new to take away from every session. Like I mentioned earlier, I was slightly intimidated knowing I'd be fighting someone significantly taller, but I was lucky to have skilled coaches who guided me through different strategies and helpful teammates who let me drill what I learned over and over again until I got it right. Because of my limited reach, our main strategy was to rely on leg kicks, body punches, and getting in pocket whenever possible. Here, Coach Chris is teaching me how to counter a long but lazy jab, which is a common tool for taller opponents, by slipping and returning with a low kick. In addition to strategy, I also wanted to focus on improving my general sense of rhythm, which is vital for effective striking, timing, distance control, and dictating the pace of a fight in Muay Thai. It was also important to train my reflexes and active defense and learn to fire back with an attack after getting hit. It doesn't matter how hard you punch or how many fancy techniques you learn if you can't master these two things first. It's been a week since I very unfortunately injured the top of my foot by kicking someone's elbow in sparring. So that was really great. Like, it was so stiff that I couldn't move it. I still can't really move it that well. I originally took a few days off, so I didn't go Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I talked to my coach about it, and he was like, no, you need to still be training through injuries because you're constantly gonna be having injuries if you continue to train at this level and try to compete, so you have to learn to work through it. And it is a little bit unfortunate because I definitely have hurt myself pretty badly before, but being hurt on your lead leg, especially on your foot, makes pretty much everything really difficult. I did end up ordering a boot that they use for like Taekwondo and karate sparring. It looks like this. And right now I'm actually warming up some water. I'm going to be filling up this bucket with boiling hot water, soaking this towel in it, and we're gonna be rubbing my foot with this. I know people in the West really like ice. It can reduce swelling and pain temporarily, but you do want blood flow and heat because it helps your body heal faster, and I would rather heal faster than be in this pain. Actually, I don't know why I'm being so dramatic. I don't need this. I can just use a smaller bowl. Oh, God help me, look at this steam. Okay, let's do this. Oh God. It has to be hot enough that it's going to encourage the blood flow, but it can't be so hot that you burn yourself. I'm currently unsure where that line is. Oh my God. Even the steam is burning me. Okay, we're gonna try this. Oh, this shit is hot. How do people do this? I'm not a little bitch. Oh God, I'm a little bitch. Okay. I'm clearly not a PT or sports doctor, so if I am doing things completely wrong, please don't come at me. And in that same vein, please do not copy me. We're gonna do it. Ah! It's actually not that bad once it's on your foot. It's more like the hands and steam. Wait, I'm not gonna show you this. You can use your imagination. Basically just pushing down with the towel along the top of my foot where I bruised it. I much prefer ice. That's all I'm gonna do for today. We're good. Let's try again later. Got our Muay Thai skincare routine right here. Training through a very limiting injury is a little bit demoralizing. You know, you wanna be giving 110% every day, and now I have to be careful. Sucks more mentally than it does physically, honestly. Amazon package has arrived. This is the boot that I'm gonna be using. Yeah, I feel pretty silly in this. It's gonna have to go over my shin guard, but definitely really good padding to protect the top of the foot there, so hopefully this helps. Although the boot had thick enough padding to technically protect my foot, the residual impact from making contact still hurt quite a bit, and in the end I decided it wasn't worth the trouble and just tried to avoid using my left side until it healed, which ended up being all of my fight camp and even into the fight.
You feel alive, let's hit the dance floor. Don't work too hard, might break a backbone. Return of the Mac, the king is back though. Corvette and cash, I never lack those. She saw the stone, you know how that go. Fatality, my diamonds that cold. Versace trunks, I hit my backstroke. Knock on the door, she at the back row. All I really take is a little taste. Island girl, blue eyes with a little bass. Here for the thrill, I don't need a chaser. Wanna vibe it to get away. Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, I got the semi-fold weight. Don't step out the line like this.
I just had 2 Twix ice cream bars and a double espresso. It's 6:30 p.m. and I'm about to head to the gym. And I'm also gonna be eating this chomps and mozzarella. The whole bulking thing is very new to me, but hopefully this is gonna give me energy to last through 2 hours of training. One of the best parts of training Muay Thai is that you get to wear these really awesome flamboyant shorts, and it's just considered part of the uniform. More sports should be like Muay Thai. If you're curious what I pack for the gym, my hand wraps, which are not rolled up, but we don't have time to roll them up, so we're just gonna put them in like that. I have a laundry bag for my clothes because they're absolutely destroyed and soaked and disgusting. So I put them in here, and then I have a change of dry clothing, and then everything else, all of my equipment is at my locker in the gym. Now it's time to actually get changed because I am going to be late as per usual. The usual fit, we have the tie shorts and crop top. A lot of the times I put my hair in a braid, but we don't have time right now, so it's staying in the ponytail from earlier, but I do use this headband to keep my bangs out of my face. It tends to come off when we're clinching and then someone like pulls it off or whatever, but today is pads, so I'm hoping it's gonna stay on. The other part of this that I forgot to mention that's absolutely critical is a giant fucking bottle of water that is insulated, full of ice, because after 2 hours of sweating in a humid gym next to many sweaty men, nothing is better than ice cold water.
While sparring was my main focus during fight camp, I made sure to get plenty of pad work in as well. Hitting pads is a great way to increase cardio and conditioning, as well as test your mental limits. Here you can see I'm still focusing on using my right side only, and I'm avoiding rotating too far my left foot when I need to pivot. One day started to blur into the next, and eventually my fight camp routine found its own rhythm.
I am too tired and lazy to cook, so we have ordered from DoorDash.
Train for 2 hours, come home and heat up leftovers or order takeout, shower, and lay in bed deeply questioning my decisions. No, but really, I found a lot of this time to be almost fun in a way. I remember reading somewhere that once training for a fight starts, it begins as a spark and quickly snowballs into an avalanche that you couldn't stop if you tried. Week after week, your desire to learn and improve grows, and before you know, you're so far down the rabbit hole, you barely recognize yourself. We spend so much of our lives juggling different priorities and opportunities and constantly looking over the fence to see if the grass is greener next door. But the month leading up to my fight, I had never felt so determined and focused on a singular goal.
All right, gonna go to Jersey to train.
Go to Jersey. You're always making things up. Go down the block. Planet Fitness. Yeah, walk on the treadmill for an hour.
In an effort to learn as much as I could in a short amount of time, I met up with Kamsak, a legendary Muay Thai fighter turned coach in Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. We were mostly focused on head and body combinations and a few other strategies for handling taller opponents. Kamsak is known for his high fight IQ and likes to teach his students his Muay Thai style. But unfortunately, with my natural uncoordination, it usually takes a few more tries than average to nail some of the more complicated sweeps and techniques. I brought the 16-ounce gloves I was planning on using in my fight to start getting used to the heavier weight, but at this point in my camp, the fatigue from all the training was starting to catch up with me.
All right, Albie is learning how to properly wrap hands right now, and we're gonna practice. This is gonna be just as much a first practice fight for me as it will be a first practice fight for Sir Albert over here as a corner.
I've been doing this for a while. I'm just doing a little bit of market research to see what other people do. And after I watch this video, I'm gonna criticize their technique. I'm already thinking about what I'm gonna write. Taking too long. I would have used a 15mm tape instead of the 30mm. Amateurs.
Is that tape or is it gauze?
That is what we call in the biz tape.
So what happens if you wrap my hands like this and then I have to pee?
Do you use your hands when you pee?
To wipe. I'm a girl. How do you think girls pee?
So basically what you would do is you take the toilet paper, paw it like a bear. Hopefully it's facing out, it's not facing in.
Since Albie was going to be a lead corner for the first time, he had some of his own training to do, including learning how to properly and legally wrap hands with gauze for the day of the fight. We spent a few evenings practicing together and getting used to the process.
So it turns out the form of hand wrapping that we were watching initially is illegal out here in the US. It's top secret stuff. Share this, okay? I don't want to see this on YouTube. How's it feel?
Feels good.
Not bad. I mean, it could be better. It could be cleaner, but punch.
Oi. Albie's first professional hand wrap attempt.
First of this month. I've done 100 of these, okay? So.
Supposed to keep my hands more protected than these?
Mm-hmm.
More stable?
Yeah, for your wrist and also for your knuckles, your hands, small little bones in there.
It's mostly gauze and there's some tape to keep it in place.
Mm-hmm.
That was a total of
4 minutes.
24.
Well, because you were talking a lot. I was actually done in 3 minutes when you were talking, asking questions, and I was like trying to set up that camera.
What if I can't fit in the glove after?
Then we're fucked.
Okay, got it. Okay,
Yeah?
Yeah. Wrap me 15 sock.
We don't have any gauze left. We used it all. We bought the wrong one.
We bought 4 or 5 packs of it, and it was for one hand.
Yeah.
Oy.
Okay, good. Nice. Ooh, no.
Sucker shot.
I'm just kidding.
Champion
I feel
of the
nothing.
world.
Nothing.
Threw up and had a panic attack during this yesterday.
Glory.
My training intensity kept increasing as the weeks went on, but I wasn't prioritizing recovery other than eating my weight in factor meals, and my body started to show potential signs of overtraining. I was constantly sore, my muscles weren't recovering from fatigue between sessions. By this time, I was also getting migraine attacks from my runs, and I started to question if I even had what it took to finish my camp. One thing that people don't tell you about when it comes to competitive sports, or maybe everyone knows this and I just don't because I've never done this before, you think as you get more in shape and as you train more, it'll get easier. Your cardio gets better. That's not true, because as your conditioning improves, your ability to push yourself farther and farther and train more intensely improves as well. You're just constantly in a state of pushing at 100% and always feeling tired. Honestly, 4 weeks ago, I felt much better than I do now because I was training how I normally did, which is feel good during training and have the energy I need to focus on technique. And by week 3, I was starting to try and ramp up that intensity a little bit, tire myself out more. Week 2, still doing that. And, now 4 weeks later, I am probably feeling the worst I have felt in terms of cardio capacity and conditioning, but that's okay because I think my sparring is more effective. I do think I'm more explosive and can actually land things better than I could a month or 2 ago. So by those counts, I think I'm improving. It just doesn't feel like it, and nobody ever talks about that part. The worst moment, though, was definitely during the sparring night when I was thrown into my first Shark Tank. It's a training method usually reserved for upcoming fighters to help develop their cardio and conditioning, where you have one person, in this case me, stay in the center for an extended period of time while fresh opponents are thrown in every few minutes. By the end of the round, I felt my heart rate get so high that I struggled to breathe out properly and started hyperventilating. I ended up running to the bathroom and dry heaving over the toilet in what felt like a mild panic attack. Albie eventually came to check on me, and I honestly felt pretty ashamed when I walked back into the gym and realized everyone had been waiting for me. This was probably my lowest point in all of my training, and it was the closest I came to quitting since getting matched. But luckily, Muay Thai is one of those special sports that brings together amazingly supportive people, and if it weren't for the empathy and encouragement of my teammates, I may not have had what it took to keep going. I'm now a little less than a week out from the fight. It's Sunday. I'm going to be fighting next Saturday. I don't know if I'm particularly nervous about the event. I mean, obviously I'm nervous just because it's something that I've never done before. And the not knowing part has been, I think, the hardest of this whole experience so far. I'm not someone who backs away from things that are difficult, but without having control or prior knowledge, it's kind of hard to prepare. And I think after I get my first competition out, hopefully I'll feel a little bit better about the next one, if there is a next one. The worst part about
this kind of thing is really just the amount of focus it takes your brain once you get close, because now I feel like this entire week I can't really do anything or plan anything. It's kind of like if you're preparing for a big speech and the few days before you have to keep thinking about the speech because that's all that's on your mind. It just takes up so much brain space. That's kind of where I am right now. Anyway, I should stop rambling and go for a run before it gets too dark outside. All right, let's go. All right, today is Wednesday, which means that it is officially the last day of fight camp. I might go in tomorrow just to kind of move around and, you know, keep things fresh, but otherwise it was the last day of sparring and everything went pretty well. I think we're ready. What do you think, Coach?
Yeah, just like 5 meltdowns, but we made it. I'm the one with the meltdowns, yeah, I had nothing to do with you.
This was my reward smoothie for finishing like 2 months of training, pretty consistent training, and being tired all the time. So now we celebrate with a factor meal. Oh my god, I look crazy. Is this what I look like after training every day before I shower? I will say, I'm actually feeling very excited after today, which I did not expect. Thought I'd be nervous, and I'm not nervous at all. I sound like I'm lying. Let's fucking do this. First gotta see if I made weight, because last night I was at 130.5, 131. Moment of truth. We did it. We are barely there, but we are there. This is not how I'm gonna do my hair for later. We're headed to the gym in about half an hour, and one of the girls who used to be a fighter there is actually coming to help me do my hair. So we'll get it all braided up, make sure it's secure. I'm pretty relieved that I woke up on weight today. I've never done any sort of weight cut for any sport, so I was a little bit nervous about the whole process, but I just went ahead and drank 2 of these, Wednesday, Thursday. I think that was it for 2 days. And then, you know, maybe just like a liter of water yesterday, and kept my eating pretty light. We have 2-hour weigh-ins, so I'm gonna have to wait until 1 p.m. before I can really eat or drink anything again, because I am pretty close. Actually, let me just show you what's in our gym bag. Albie actually did a really good job of making sure all of this was prepared for the day of. So we went ahead and used my old gym bag, which is a little bit smaller than my Fairtex one, and we filled it up with all of the toner items. So we have the gauze for hand wrapping, have a face spray. I actually don't know what this is. Is this a spit bag? We have a couple towels here, obviously, and then here's the bucket that we're going to be using to hold everything. Thai oil, some Vicks, and some Vaseline. A couple of these squirt bottles. I'm not totally sure what gamma regulations are, but I did put in some of these Herb energy bars, some barbell bars, coconut water. And then we're also bringing a couple of these. In my regular bag, I got all my gear, like my headgear. I'm not sure if they're gonna give us one, so we want to bring it in case. I have my gym shorts. Gotta represent. I'm gonna wear this kind of sports bra. I'm gonna get a little playful with bananas and monkeys. This morning, still feel excited. So hopefully it stays that way. Feel ready to go.
All the work was done, and after dedicating 2 months of my life to this day, we'd finally see what I had to show for it. Weigh-ins were scheduled for 1 o'clock, but I still needed to get my hair done so it wouldn't fly in my face during the fight, and we met up at our gym a few hours prior.
We're done! Hey, ready?
Yeah, let's go.
I headed to the venue alongside the rest of the team, which included Esteban, who would also be fighting today, and Albie and Chris, who would be our 2 corners. I had been really nervous about making weight during my camp, and when it was time for the scale, I was in for an unfortunate surprise when I learned that the cutoff was actually supposed to be 128 pounds and not 130. Luckily, the mechanical scale at the venue was a few pounds under the one we had at home, and I came in exactly at 128 pounds on the dot. After we finished our medical evaluations, it was time to rehydrate and fuel up. I was scheduled at the end of the card, but after several people were forced to drop out due to failed medicals, my time slot was moved up about an hour. We passed most of the time pacing, chatting, and thinking about what we were going to eat after. Then before I knew it, it was time to suit up and do what I came for.
Let's go,
The first bell rang and I landed my first kick. It felt slower and more awkward than I expected, and more importantly, I was tired. When I first walked into the ring, I didn't feel an overt sense of fear or nervousness, but it was clear that my body was experiencing some form of tension or maybe adrenaline dump because I was losing steam at an alarming rate. It felt difficult to keep up with the game plan we set out for. My leg kicks landed pretty often, but I couldn't close the distance for body shots or find the right angles to set up effective combos. My opponent's primary strategy was to keep me at a distance by circling the ring. Ideally, I would have stayed calm to conserve my energy and think of openings, but I ended up spending most of the time chasing her down. This led to further fatigue, and by the time the round was over, I questioned whether I could even finish the next two. By the second round, the pace slowed down considerably. Since my opponent was getting tired, I was able to find more openings, but I couldn't follow through because, well, I was tired too. By the time I returned to my corner for the third round, I'd never been so exhausted in my entire life. I wanted to tell Albie that I couldn't do it anymore, and although I'd like to say that I fought through those doubts by digging into some deep well of self-belief, honestly, I was just so fatigued that I didn't have the energy to say the words out loud. So I had no choice but to go back in for the final round and finish what I started.
Adam goes, push! One more minute! Hey!
As expected, both of us were pretty gassed in the remaining moments. At this point, it took everything in me just to keep moving forward, but in the last 10 seconds, I did my best to give everything I had and then some.
Nice!
And just like that, it was over. 2 months of intense focus, dedication, and exhaustion, all left in the ring.
All right, we're on the other side. Good. Good. That's all right.
Very tired.
Good job.
I had proven to myself that anything is truly possible with a little perseverance and, most importantly, help from the people around you.